want to look at sort of the overall direction of college football. What do you think is the biggest obstacle facing college football as we currently talk and we go into 2016?
I think the biggest obstacle is that there's no clear-cut vision for the future. I think every coach, every administrator, every conference commissioner, all out for the betterment of themselves. And in of itself, that's fine. But I think that there is, again, I think the fact that there's no clear-cut vision is one reason we have so many issues today. For instance, if someone 25 years ago had any kind of foresight, I don't think there would have been the Ed O'Bannon lawsuit. I don't think there would have been the unionization aspect. I don't think there would have been such a long time before there was a cost of attendance stipend. Again, I think every league is out for itself, every coach out for himself. And again, that's fine, but I think that's one reason that college sports, in particular, suffers frankly on a yearly basis. 2 weeks ago, you could have asked everybody in the Big 12, are you guys going to expand? And I think the unanimous answer would have been no, we're done with that. And then the ACC goes through with this idea of having a conference, a league-wide TV network, and all of a sudden the Big 12 does a 180 and says, yes, by God, we are expanding. Again, there's for institutes of higher learning, there are a lot of dumb people making decisions, and they don't think very far in the future. They're diving under couches for nickels and dimes, whereas if they had a legitimate plan of action for 5 years down the road, everything would be a lot smoother.
When you start looking at this direction, let's just say, I guess it's hard to even follow this up with the answer there, but I agree with you. I see the same thing that you're seeing. I just look 5 years, 10 years down the road. What will we look like? I mean, will it look the same in college football? I mean, will it, will we still have the Power Five? I mean, was this autonomy take a little bit more different shape? What do you think will look like 5 to 10 years from now?
Yeah, that is difficult. I think that, I think everyone still thinks there's going to be 4 super conferences one day, but I think given what has happened in the past week with the ACC and Big 12, that has been pushed back a little bit. I think the one thing that was important from the ACC was the grant of rights. And I think people hear grant of rights and sort of roll their eyes and sort of their brain goes sleep. But the grant of rights is an extremely important part of college athletics. And the ACC, by extending the grant of rights membership for 20 years, means that if any ACC team wants to leave before 2036, they forfeit all the TV money they earn from their home games. I can't fathom any team doing that. The Big 12 grant of rights go through 2025. There's a big push to have them extended, and that is another thing that would cause schools to not leave the Big 12, which would push back the supposed 4-power conference thing for a while. The SEC, they haven't released the financial figures yet, but I fully expect we're talking each team's making $30 million. It's still going to be behind the Big Ten, but it's unfathomable to think any SEC team wants out or any Big Ten team wants out. In the next couple of years, I don't think the ACC is going to be set, the Big 12 is going to be set, the Pac-12. Its TV network is not doing all that well, but those schools are still rolling in the dough. So I think the one thing that perhaps we could see in the next 10 years, I think the Power Five is still going to be around. I think the gap between the Power Five and the Group of Five will be even larger, i.e. a school like UAB, a school like Louisiana Tech, a school like UMass, Monmouth, Ohio. All those schools I think are going to be farther and farther behind. But yeah, the financial aspect of college football, I think we all love what goes on, what happens on the field on Saturdays in the fall. It's what happens in the back rooms that's a little bit disconcerting and frankly ugly.